We want to take a closer look at importing assets into Site Manager, specifically how we use key columns. When we import assets from a CSV file into the Site Manager database, we need to specify at least one key column, and we can choose up to 3 key columns. The key columns are used to uniquely identify an asset. When Site Manager imports an asset data record, it has to decide, is this a new asset to be added to the database, or are we updating data for an asset that's already in the database? That could be an asset that existed in Site Manager before the import, or even an asset that was just imported from the same CSV file. So, for example, we could use asset name as a key column and specify just the one key column if we know that each asset has its own unique asset name. Looking at this CSV, we have 4 data records where the asset name is listed as unknown. Remember, asset name can't be blank. What will happen if we import this CSV using asset name as the only key column? Well, when the import comes to line 7, if there's not already an asset with the name unknown, this one will be imported as a new asset. When we get to line 8, Site Manager will already have an asset with that name in its database. So it will change the asset that was just imported, updating the asset number, inventory number, and so on. The same thing happens on line 9 and line 10. When we import assets using just asset name as the key column, the result is that we've imported 6 assets and done 3 updates. When we look at our assets, we have just one asset with the name unknown, and the asset number is the one on the last line of our CSV. Now we've removed what we imported, and we'll try it again. This time we'll specify asset number, asset name, and inventory number as our key columns. These are the same key columns used by the SyAM Asset Auditor, the application that uses a handheld device to collect information on your assets. All 3 key columns must be identical for an imported data record to be treated as an update. If any key field has different data, the import adds a new asset to Site Manager. This time the result is that 9 assets have been imported and none updated. When we go back to our asset table, we see all the new assets that were added. In Excel, you can check for duplicates in your CSV file. Click the letter for the column you want to look at. Then under Conditional Formatting, choose Highlight Cells Rules, and then Duplicate Values. You'll see that the duplicate values are highlighted. In the same way, you could look at asset number or inventory number, and in this case you'd see that nothing would be highlighted, and that would confirm that all the values are unique.